Welcome back, mamas. Today I am going to be talking about homeschooling toddlers and preschoolers. So homeschooling toddlers and preschoolers. I know some people think that school doesn't really start until kindergarten, but honestly, even if you aren't going to homeschool your kids, homeschooling does start when they're babies. They start learning from the very day they're born, and you have a huge part to do with that. As parents, we help our children learn how to walk, how to talk, how to play nice, and how to go to the bathroom. So you are homeschooling your child before they go off to school, if you send your kids off to school. So this video will help you focus your efforts on making sure your child has great success even before starting traditional school. So some general things to be watching for and helping your child learn is learning their shapes, their colors, their alphabet, their numbers, and their animals and the different sounds their animals make. You can help them learn these things, and this starts as early as they're sitting up. Honestly, you can sit down with them with a book. Almost everybody gets books for their kids or gets gifted books for their kids. And these will have alphabets, they'll have shapes and numbers, because that's what all of the books geared for that age range are. From basically sitting up, age. A lot of kids' toys these days will have learning built in. There'll be animals, they'll have food items so they can get to know different colors and shapes and sizes and all of that. So even if they won't sit down with you with a book, you can always talk with them with any of their toys. You know, if it's a ball, you say the ball is round and the ball is blue or whatever color it is. That can help them learn their colors throughout their toys. You just point out the different toys and the different colors that they have, and then they'll learn their colors that way. They can learn their shapes. If they have a orange or a ball, then, you know, that's a circle or round and things like that. It's really not that complicated. It's really basic stuff that they're learning at this age. So the next section of things they should be learning is their gross motor skills and their fine motor skills. Now, gross motor skills are things like walking and running and jumping and climbing, general movement of their body. Fine motor skills are things that take a lot more precision, like drawing and painting and writing. Okay, what about math skills? Well, the math skills include shape recognition and learning how to count numbers, things like that. That's this age range's math skills that they should be working on through these ages. Now, I will stop here and want to tell you that a lot of the curriculums, at least with the homeschool curriculums, all of the ones that I have experience with personally, kindergarten starts out with all of the basics. It's all a review. So don't be stressing out too much during this period, through the ages of 1 to 4 through 4 even, because they will get a refresher when they start kindergarten on their shapes, their colors, their numbers, their alphabet. All of this is going to be reviewed in kindergarten and in first grade, and then they will build on that. The last skill set I'm going to talk about is social skills. I feel like this is one of the more important skills to be learning during this time, this age range time. And you start this from the very beginning, 1 year old or younger. Like, as soon as they can respond to you, you should start teaching them these social skills. And what I mean by social skills is interacting with other people, but it is things like sharing their toys, taking turns, and following simple instructions. So, helping your child learn these at a younger age will one it's going to help you drastically as your child gets older for their obedience, but two, this is going to help have less fights when they're dealing with other kids, either siblings or playing with friends. And you really, really want them to be polite, share their toys or the toys in the area if they're at a play school or if they're in Sunday school or whatever. They need to learn how to share at that age, starting as young as they can understand instructions, which is pretty young. It's a lot younger than we think they can understand. Social skills are so important, and I would probably rank these skills higher than any of the other skills. They're going to gradually learn those other skills pretty quickly and do just great with them. But these skills, social skills, are very important at a very, very young age. And another thing about learning young is it will take time. We all are pretty selfish when we are little, especially, but we have that in our nature. And it takes time for us to learn to not be selfish, to where that toy is mine, that, snack is mine, and I don't want to share. That's mine. I don't have to share. I don't want to share. And breaking that mindset of the child to learn that it's good to share toys or a snack or whatever they're playing with. That will just set them up for great success as an adult later in life. Remember, we want to teach our kids how to be adults, not to be children, because they're only going to be children for a small amount of time. Let them be kids with guidance, discipline, and training. And then they will grow up to know how to function as an adult and be beneficial and helpful to their community. Play learning is really important during this age time. From, as soon as they're up walking or even just crawling around, all the way up into all the way through 4 years old. And playing is still essential as they get older. But we're going to just talk about from 1 to 4. Because they're learning so much, everything they're doing is teaching them something. So all of their play teaches them something. And what a better way to learn than when you're having fun. This is a time to play. They want to play, and they will learn a ton with their play. So let them play with them, enjoy this time, and just incorporate things like, do you want your blue ball? Or do you want your red ball? Or do you want the pink ball? Things like that. You're teaching them while playing with them. Teaching them through play makes it fun for them. They will retain more of the information because they're having fun than if they're bored or they're not having fun. It's become a fight. It's not even nothing is going to stick. So what are some of the tools you need to help you teach your kids at this stage? Well, we've already talked about a few of them. Books and toys can do almost everything they need to teach them, everything they need. Now, having some pencils, having some crayons, some paper, coloring books, maybe paint if you're willing. It can be quite messy, especially the younger they are, the more messy they're going to be. But any of those things, having them around, so when they are ready to practice their fine motor skills, then you have the supplies handy. But that's really all you need. If you focus on things that are educational, they have shapes on them, they have colors on them, they have numbers or alphabet, anything like that. It doesn't have to be expensive. There is electronic toys out there that teach them all of those things, and it voices all of that stuff to them. And those are great too. They're more expensive. They're not that necessary. They're fun to have. Kids love them because they make noise. But it's not necessary. If it's not in your budget, don't worry about it. Pick up a couple of board books. A touch and feel book is always really great. ABC books and 1, 2, 3 books, color books, and sometimes you can get all of that in the same book if you look around. I don't know if I have any that have all of that in the same, but there's usually colors in every single book. And so you can point out the different colors. You know, the teddy bear's hat is, you know, purple, or, you know, the sun is yellow. You know, it doesn't take much to point out the colors in a book. It's pretty straightforward. And you can count things in the book too. They don't have to have numbers. I mean, it'd be good to have something that showed them what the number looked like when you say 1, that they know what it is. I will also put my finger up and say 1, and then 2, and so on. And pointing to the number itself and counting the objects and stuff. All of that really, really does help, and eventually will sink in. I will see about getting a list put together and put some links down in the description below to show you a variety of different tools you can check out, just to give you some ideas of what would be a good choice to start with. Now, you can just take these and go with the list I've got, or you can modify on that with what works with your budget and your child. My last thing I want to talk about, how to deal with setbacks. And I've left this for last because I know it's scary, but I want to encourage you that you have got this. And once you've gone through a setback, they won't seem so scary anymore. So I want you to hang in there. And I've got a few tips here to help you get through a setback. If you have any issues coming up with your child that are concerning you, then please talk to your doctor, talk to your support system, whoever that is, and start doing some research on your own. Get yourself your information so that you can make an informed decision and help your child, or get the help they need if there is something wrong. But in general, a setback is just going to be a slowdown where they aren't making progress very fast, or maybe they have stopped making progress. In most cases, I personally don't feel like that's too big of an issue. It's freaky sometimes. I'll admit that. I got concerned and really worried with one of my kids when they seemed to have a setback, or they weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing at that stage. Okay, I have gone through that now a couple of times. And so now there really isn't a concern. Now I just have to remind myself, give them time, be patient. That one is very important. Patience. Patience with your child will help them more than anything else. Patience, patience, patience. So if you feel like your child is having a setback and you don't think there's like something else going on medically or any other concerns, then take a break, or maybe look, are you pushing them too hard? Or maybe you just need to find a different way of approaching something. Or maybe your child just needs some time. Especially at a young age, you don't want to be pushing them to do things that they're not ready for. So even if they are not doing something, especially like fine motor skills is not necessary even in preschool. Now, you're going to have a lot of people, I will probably have a lot of people saying at some point that I'm way off base on that one. But I want to give you an example. There was a mama in one of the homeschool groups I was in. She had, I think, 1 or 2 daughters first, and then she had a boy. And she thought something was wrong, like that she was totally messing something up because her son wasn't doing school like any of the fine motor skills stuff, writing, coloring, wanting to sit down and actually work in a workbook, and at the same age that her daughters had, because both her daughters had started at like 3. They wanted to draw, they wanted to color, and her son was not interested in it at all. And so she thought she was doing something wrong, or that maybe something was wrong with him. And so she came to her community, and me, along with a bunch of other moms, encouraged her and let her know there's nothing wrong. He's doing just fine, and you're not doing anything wrong. You're fine. Okay? That is the difference to keep in mind between boys and girls. It is not a rule across the board. That is just in general. Girls will tend to learn and fine-tune their fine motor skills in particular way sooner than the boys do. And that is normal. It is okay. It doesn't mean that boys are slow. They just learn at a different rate. And they will catch up, if you want to say that, with the girls in plenty of time. And another thing I want to mention too is, besides going to your community of support, pray. Pray and ask for help, because God can help you get through these things. He can help you with so much, everything in your life, any struggle, setbacks, any part. He can help you with that. And so I encourage you, go pray. Pray and ask for wisdom. If you ask for wisdom, then God can give you wisdom to see what you are maybe missing. You think your child's way behind, or he should be learning something. Maybe he's just not ready, or she. So if you come up to a setback with one of your kids, then don't freak out, okay? If there really is something wrong, get some help for your child and pray. If you would like to see this video or this topic in print form, I also have a blog post to go along with that, and the link to that will be in the description below. That's all for this time. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.